Hey!
Oh, would you not do that every freaking week?
Well, you're gonna have to get used to it because one day you're gonna realize we're
you're
on a
drunk,
show.
aren't you?
No, I brought this to show people.
Do you have to be drunk to be with me? You know how many times I've said that?
That's if I were female, yes. My buddy Joe and I
Yes.
went in together and bought a wine kit. And
Yes.
we finally bottled it yesterday. Yeah, look at that. He came up with a label
Look
for
how
it.
clear it is.
Yeah, that is really clear. It's funny. The it's the green screen works really well on the wine.
No shit, huh? Look at that.
Oh, that's
all right. Put it down.
But it's Joe's wife likes wine a little bit sweeter, so we I do things a little bit different than most people that make wine. They bottle it right away, and it takes longer for it to age properly in the bottles. I leave it in the carboy for an extra couple of months.
It's been in there since Christmas, man.
No, since January.
Close.
Yeah. So from the time when you normally bottle it, I left it in there for another 2 months in the carboy to age. And
does that make it like rocket fuel?
No, but it's smooth as silk.
See, here's the thing. Even when I drank, I don't drink anymore.
No, you don't.
No, showbiz will do that to you. But I never liked white wine. I always found it too acidic.
Well, some people complain about that, but some wines, it depends on the grape, right?
Oh.
This is a Riesling. But if you want something that's not overly acidic, but really nice and sweet, you go for a Gewürztraminer or a Moscata.
God bless you. What do you say?
A Gewürztraminer. Or a Zinfandel. That's
I know Zinfandel.
Yeah, Zinfandel.
But when it comes to cocaine, I'm still in. But
I know. I've never ever seen anybody take cocaine through suppository before.
Well, I'm older now.
Yes.
It's hard to make your ass snort.
Yeah. So how was your week?
You live with me.
Well, no, but you go other places. I'm not always around.
My week was fine. For those who
I want to ask, it's not for my
Christ's sake, don't ask me a question.
It's for them.
And then interrupt me. I work for Harvest Manitoba, of course. I'm the volunteer supervisor down there. Volunteer services supervisor. And what we do is we supply food for 380 food banks in Manitoba. We're feeding now. It's gone up incredibly, 20% since COVID hit, people losing their jobs. 90,000 Manitobans we're feeding a month. 43% of that are kids. And that's a shame. That shouldn't be happening. And it's all walks of life. It's not marginalizing socioeconomically, which is a big word for me. And if you can help out at all, please, we'll take you as a volunteer. You want to make a monetary donation? You want to drop off food? You can see the Harvest yellow bins in your grocery stores. We could really use your help. But other than that, great week. I've had a good time. And I'm working on that book. I'm an illustrator, children's book illustrator.
That is coming along so nicely.
Yeah.
You should grab a picture, one of your pictures, and show it, and understand that the green will show the Las Vegas. Oh, have you noticed we're in Las Vegas?
Oh, look at that! Yes, I've played Vegas. I've lost in Vegas.
I've never been.
Oh, you haven't been to Vegas? You, of all people?
No, I don't. I'm not a gambler.
No, you don't have to be a gambler. It's people watching.
I'm a people watcher.
You like cheesy hats?
I love cheesy hats. But you told me I couldn't have one of the Musketeer hats.
Yes, he was watching the Three Musketeers yesterday, and he wanted to buy one of the frilly ones with the plume. And I
don't necessarily have to have the plume.
That's a
pimp
hat. It's a friggin' pimp hat.
Well,
what are you doing?
I'm trying to get comfortable.
Yeah, great.
I'm like, I've got two shirts on, like Sheldon.
Why? Why do I do this?
Because you're addicted to me.
No, hardly. I've been addicted, and it certainly has never been to you. Oh, liar. We've got a great show tonight.
Yeah, that's why we have the Vegas.
Yep. Why is that, Mark? I ask.
We have a wonderful, wonderful guest on here tonight.
I look like Burt Reynolds' toupee. Look at my hair today.
You do.
And people ask, why do I wear the glasses, tinted glasses? And I'll tell you why. Because I'm light sensitive, and these are very bright. And like even in Walmart with the fluorescent light, sometimes I'll get dizzy. But
try these on. I want. Tell me how much light. These are the glasses that
tell the story of this
I got.
Genius.
So I ordered a bandsaw, a small countertop bandsaw to cut.
And you ordered it online.
And I ordered it online, and it got lost somewhere.
Like shallow
and I'm like, where is it? It says it's in Ontario or BC or somewhere,
right.
waiting to come through. Then all of a sudden, I get this, and it's the order, the bandsaw, and in the package was these sunglasses, and that's all that was in there. So I got these sunglasses.
I look like Yoko Ono,
but
she has less facial hair.
You don't see the light so badly, eh? It's like
what?
Yeah,
I can't hear either. Get out of here. All right.
You know what would happen if you didn't have ears, right? You wouldn't be able to see.
And
your hat would fall down over your eyes.
So many jokes I could make, but it'd be inappropriate.
So, anyways, those of you who have ever watched Night Court would have seen Mel Torme. He has an incredibly talented son.
Wait a minute. You're starting at Night Court? The guy's
No, I'm just saying. I realize that.
Vocalist, he's a crooner. He's right up Sinatra, the whole gang. Mel Torme.
Do I look cultured to you?
Velvet Fog.
The Velvet Fog. Not to be mistaken for a London Fog, which is a great drink you can get at Tim Hortons.
Oh, would you shut up?
But anyways, what I was saying is he has an incredibly talented son.
Two of them
that
we know of.
But we've got Steve on the show today.
There's a little look at what he does.
We're gonna show you a little bit.
Tune.
Oh yes, me too. Hang on, if I can find it here.
Yeah, would you please?
There it is.
Lady Madonna, children at your feet, wonders how you manage to make ends meet. Who finds the money when you pay the rent? Did you think that money was heaven sent? Friday night arrives without a suitcase. Sunday morning creeping like a nun. Monday's child has learned to tie his bootlace. See how they run. Lady Madonna, baby at your breast, wonders how you manage to be the rest. See how they run. Lady Madonna, lying on the bed, listen to the music playing in your head. Tuesday afternoon is never ending. Wednesday morning paper didn't come. Thursday night, your stockings needed mending. Let me hear ya. See how they run. Lady Madonna, children at your feet, wonders how you manage to make it
There we go, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Hey, by the way, Roger McGuinn called. He wants his glasses back.
All right, that's enough out of you.
So, I've just met you 2 seconds ago, and I've decided that if Bob Uecker and Hawk Harrelson had a child, it's you.
Oh, well, that's comforting. Thank you.
It could be worse.
It could be way worse. And by the way, great job. I'm a Beatles fanatic, and you obviously are a Beatles fan. And great job on that tune, man.
Oh, well, thanks. That was I when I'm not singing, when I'm not doing concerts, I do a radio show, and have been doing one here in Wisconsin for quite a long time. And I asked them if I could do a tribute concert to Paul McCartney, because it was the 50th anniversary of the Beatles coming to the States. And they said, well, do a tribute concert to the Beatles. I said, well, we'll be here for 4 days. Let's just McCartney. So they were all tunes that he wrote, and that was one of them. So yeah, fun tune to do.
And I still say that, you know, if you really want to feel inadequate as an entertainer, you have to realize that the Beatles wrote all their stuff before they were 30.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's like wah wah. You know.
I talked about that the other day. That beautiful song, "Someday You'll Know I Was the One, but
Yep.
tomorrow may rain." So he wrote that when he was 16. Like,
Yeah. And when
I
I'm
love that piece of
64, when
music.
I'm 64, he wrote that when he was 15, I do believe.
I like that song too.
and maybe one of the best songs he's ever written, one of the more sophisticated ones, and which we do in a concert I've done. "She's Leaving Home." He was 19. You write that at
Wow.
19?
I don't think I know that one.
Wow.
Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock as the
Okay, I know that one.
Yeah, exactly. And
Gorgeous.
it just blows your mind. But and obviously that played a part in what you're doing now. But let's talk about a little bit about the fact that you come from a legacy of music, and how did that impact you?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, young man.
Thank you.
Young. He thinks you're young.
I think everybody's young. I was showing my daughters footage of their grandfather, but their other grandfather. I want to get this in because it gets overlooked whenever I do a show and people meet me afterwards. They want to talk about Mel Torme, and I saw your dad at a concert in 19 fill in the blank. Did your dad teach you a lot about music? I was brought up by Hal March, hence my last name being March Torme. And I don't know how many viewers in Canada know who he was, but Hal March was the host of the $64,000 Question Show.
Yeah.
At the time was a huge, huge show on television. Everybody watched it. All right, someone going to go for the 64,000. He was also a Broadway actor. He starred in Neil Simon's "Come Blow Your Horn" on Broadway.
Right. Yeah.
Guy, and he taught me my first love, which I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. He taught me how to play ball. And so when people say, what did you get from your dad, Mel? I think I got lucky enough to get some DNA and hopefully some genes, but I didn't live with Mel Torme after the age of 2.5.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Did you have much contact?
yeah. Later on in his life, the last 15 years of his life, we became closer. We spent more time together. I was living out in Westchester County, New York, and he lived in California. So just geographically, we didn't spend that much time together. And then when we moved out to Los Angeles, when Hal March moved us to Los Angeles, my dad, Mel, was on the road all the time. So I just didn't see him.
Sure.
Like I said, until like the last 15 years. And then we kind of forged a bond, and I got him to record my first real kind of jazz big band album. I got him to record a duet of "Straighten Up and Fly Right with Me." And
that's right.
Great thrill for me. And because people have asked, well, we've heard that rendition. Did you guys do that posthumously like Natalie Cole did? I said, no. We were two of us on one microphone, like George and Paul. We did 2 takes and we were done. And I was just
wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really great. So
How much do you think? And jump in whenever you want. I don't mean to get out of here. Genetics play in it, and the reason I ask is, you've got Elvis and Lisa Marie who tried it, and then you get Julian and Sean Lennon that tried it. Genetically, not to get too scientific, but it's in your DNA.
Well, I think it is to an extent. I guess there are some people who are second generation who are not very good at what they do, but that's
true. Very true.
I meant you. I just didn't want to use any names. I think it's tough enough to try and be an artist in show business, to be literally an artist, to do something musically or in the arts, whether you're a dancer or an actor. And I think it was to my benefit that I didn't grow up with Mel Torme, because if I had,
really?
Oh, absolutely. Because I think just even subconsciously, I would have tried to sing like him, and I would have ended up sounding like, well, you kind of sound like your dad, and I don't do that.
Yeah.
So I think it was to my benefit to grow up on pop music, like Todd Rundgren and Steely Dan and James Taylor and Joni Mitchell, the people I grew up on, and the Beatles. And then later on became more of a jazz singer. I started listening to more of my dad's stuff. And even though I can scat sing and do all that, I don't come off as, another, okay, he does a decent Mel Torme.
Right.
Yeah.
That, I guess that's where I was going with that, because you had the Nancy Sinatras and Frank Sinatra Jr. You know,
Yeah.
and you know, you have to have a certain amount of talent to get to that level. But that was totally name writing, and you totally blew right through that. And
I think I got lucky. I think I got lucky. And by the way, I think Julian Lennon was a pretty good pop artist.
yeah,
Oh, I thought so too.
I mean, his first album was fantastic. You know,
Wow.
and he was such a young man at the time.
Yeah, and
That's
he did
Imagine,
sound
right?
like
That was the first
but
one?
No, I'm talking Julian Lennon, not John Lennon.
No. Oh, that John Lennon is Imagine. That's right.
Yeah.
My brain's just not there.
by the
Really?
way,
I've had too much Coke Zero.
Yeah, exactly. My
Uh,
apologies to the viewers.
you know, Ben Taylor is. I'm not here to denigrate anybody's talent.
No, of course not. Of course not.
You know, James Taylor is James Taylor, and it's tough to walk in those footsteps to write songs like that. I think maybe the best example of two artists that really did kind of forge their own path, even though it was quite obvious she was her mother's daughter, was Judy Garland and Liza.
Right.
It's like, well, you got to be Judy Garland's daughter. But at least she did forge her own way and made her own path. I think it's easier as an actor to do it than it is as a singer. You're going to end up somewhat sounding like your parents.
Well, now what do you mean? Like, to have a parent who's like Clint Eastwood's son, who acts. I mean, are you saying it's easier to be an actor writing on your parents' name without having the chops? Or
I think it's easier to forge your own identity because acting takes so many more different forms. For
Sure.
instance, Michael Douglas is a terrific actor. I don't
Oh,
think you can say,
fantastic!
well, you're a watered down Kirk Douglas. No, he forged his own.
He's his own thing.
Absolutely. And when you're a singer, you are identified by that footprint of your voice, and you're kind of stuck to that. So if you do sound like your parents, that's kind of it.
Well,
But
it's
I do-
inevitable though. It's genetic.
I
Genetically.
do think it's genetic because my grandfather was a world-class violinist and saxophone player.
I've never seen you play the violin.
No, I don't. And my father, although he's never actively pursued music, he can pick up almost any instrument you put in front of him and play something on it, play a tune. And I've never met anybody else like that.
McCartney does
You
it.
know, well, I mean, I never met McCartney.
Oh, he's a great guy.
But and me, although I do play guitar terribly, I am a really good disc jockey, and that comes from the music background. I know my rhythm, I know my beat, I know my keys, I know how it's supposed to sound, and that helps me. I don't think I would be as good as I was if I did not have that genetic line. And my son, he picks up the guitar and he just plucks away like it's nothing, and I'm like, how?
I don't know if it's, look, I don't think it hurts. I think if you have, the best thing I got from my dad was my ear, not necessarily voice. I can sound like him if I want to. If I want to sound like Mel Torme, I can sing like him. I don't want to. So fortunately, I got my voice. But if you don't have an ear, you can't sing in tune.
No.
And I think that was the greatest gift he gave me, was at least an ear, because it's always been natural for me to sing harmonies. I've got two daughters, the same thing. They don't have to think about it. They immediately go to the third and the fifth without even thinking about it. I think that's somewhat genetic.
Do they sing with you often?
Well, I've had them in my shows. I've had them sing a few things with me. I got my daughter Ruby to get up and sing the Christmas song.
Oh,
Of course, no dry eye in the house.
no, that's a showstopper right there.
Oh, absolutely. Because this audience, the people that live here have heard me sing it in concert. And for me to start the song and have her interrupt me and go, no, it goes like this. And we plan the whole thing. I start with chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping. Excuse me. That's not quite right. Excuse me. That's not quite how it goes. Oh, you know how it goes. And so she got up on stage and, of course, upstaged me, and she sings beautifully. So
That's wonderful, because that, of course, is, when I think of Mel Torme, the Christmas song automatically comes to my mind, even though he has such a broad library of music. But that one it hits the old ticker.
well, and I'll make. But we do have time.
There's no time limit. No, it's our show. We could be here until tomorrow.
Very well might be. There was a guy who approached me in Palm Desert who runs a beautiful theater there called the McCallum Performing Arts Center. And he wanted to talk to me about doing a show there. And I said, okay. He said, well, what I suggest, he said, I've heard you sing and I'm a fan, but to be honest with you, people down here don't really know who you are. And it's a pretty good sized auditorium. And if we just say Steve March Torme, we're not going to fill it up. I said, okay, I understand that. He said, now, if you do a tribute show to your dad, I think I can sell that. I said, okay, well, for the sake of argument, what songs are we going to do? Because what songs is my dad known for? Well, I mean, he sang the same songs everybody else did. I'm not going to do an hour and a half of the Christmas song.
No,
And I
no.
said, I'm not being a smartass. I'm just saying, you know, he sang the Great American Songbook, like a lot of people did. And then I finally, for once in my life, shut up and actually started thinking about it. All right, now think about this. It was the way he sang songs and the arrangements that he put to them. So if you're going to do Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing, if you do Mel Torme's arrangement to it, it's killer. I mean, it's really terrific. So he told me, the guy said, look, go listen to an album called Reunion. It's the arrangements that your dad did with Marty Page. And I said, okay. And when I listened to that album, I heard songs like, you know, Trolley Song. I don't really have a desire to sing Trolley Song, but then I heard his arrangement, and it's hip as hell. I mean, it's tricky. The scat passages are really difficult. I said, you know what? We can do this. So we ended up doing a show that included, you know, Lulu's Back in Town, and Nightingale sang in Berkeley Square, and The Folks Live on the Hill. And they're beautiful songs. I mean, there's a reason the Great American Songbook is still being done by people like Rod Stewart. Because
yeah, definitely.
So anyway, it was interesting to finally realize I can do a show that's a tribute to him without doing him. I don't want people coming in and saying, yeah, I saw Mel's son sing Mel. I want them to see a tribute to him, talking about how good an arranger he was and how good he was at picking tunes, because that's hard too. You want to put a good show together.
Yeah.
So I realized when you were saying, you know, he had this breadth of music. Everybody else sang Stardust too. It was the arrangement that he did. That's what I find interesting.
How much? Oh, go ahead.
Did he have a big body of his own music, or was
he wrote a lot of tunes. Obviously, the Christmas song was the best known one.
Well, that is his.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, the story, and I always kind of embellish it. The story is he had a partner, a writing partner named Bob Wells, and they had a writing session scheduled on a July day out in California. My dad lived in just above Beverly Hills, and Bob Wells lived out in the San Fernando Valley. And the valley is usually about 12 to 15 degrees hotter in the summer. So they scheduled this writing session for 10 o'clock in the morning because they knew it was going to be warm. And so my dad drove over to Bob's house, and as the story goes, he got out of the car, knocked on the door, didn't hear anybody, but the door was open. It was also 1945, and people left their doors open.
Sure.
So he walked into the house, and he could hear Bob taking a shower, trying to cool off at 10 o'clock in the morning because it was already about 98 degrees.
Oh.
My dad saw an index card on the piano with 4 lines of lyrics written on them. And Bob walked out of the shower, and the first thing my dad said was, Bob, put on a towel. The second thing he said, Bob, I want to tell you.
Hi, folks.
Well, I had to make up something, but what really did happen was he said, hey, I think we got something here. And Bob had said, I was trying to think of cool thoughts because I'm so overheated. And he said, why don't we go to the beach today and the hell with this writing session? And Dad said, no, I think we got a song here. And they stayed there and ended up writing the Christmas song in about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
First part.
For a song that's lasted generations.
I think it's not only one of the best holiday songs, but just the structure of that tune musically is really sophisticated. I mean, that's not a Jingle Bells tune. I mean, no. It's really interesting. So,
and the thing is, it evokes memories of a simpler time, obviously, and it's just a perfectly. It's the epitome to me of Christmas.
Well, it's one of the most well known. It's even called Christmas.
Well, it's the Christmas song and White Christmas, I think, are the two best known of those tunes. Now, as it turns out, about 2 weeks later in Hollywood, Sammy Kahn and Johnny Mercer were writing a song called Let It Snow. Same song.
Yeah.
All the Jewish songwriters wrote these Christmas songs. Well, of course.
We're good people.
And all I got stuck with is dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
Yeah, how is that right?
That's not.
Well, that was written by a Goyim. Like, come on.
I know, it was.
He's Jewish, I'm not. And
A shiksa.
What?
A shiksa.
What's that mean?
A goyim a shiksa is a non-Jewish woman.
A shiksa is married to a Goyim. Shiksa is married to a Goyim.
Well, I'm not her.
Goyim is you're a goyim.
You're Goyim. Exactly.
Okay, fair enough.
A non-Jew.
It says right on my license, Goyim.
I did a concert in Winnipeg at the Asper Jewish Community Campus,
Yes.
Yes, that's around not far from where we live.
Burnay Theater in Winnipeg.
That's
Yes,
a nice
Yeah.
theater. I've played there as well.
beautiful theater. I've been flying in and seeing everything covered in snow. It was December 12th. I thought, oh, this is going to be cold. Yep. But they were impressed because I knew who Dieter Brock was.
Ooh,
Do you remember
Dieter Brock. Oh, absolutely. Ralph
Okay.
Brock, Dieter Brock.
Well, nobody here knows who Dieter Brock is.
Well, which team did he go down to play for?
Well, he played for obviously played for the Winnipeg.
No, I mean in the States.
but he went to the
NFL.
States and he played for a fairly bad Rams team, the LA
Okay.
Rams. And they were not very good, and it didn't go as well as he wanted to. But when I said Dieter Brock on stage, I knew I had the audience.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm not.
Here, a little story about Dieter Brock. What an amazing guy. When I lived here in the Maples, when I was
Aren't you in Las
a kid,
Vegas?
when I was a kid,
Aren't you in Las Vegas?
no, what?
No, we're sadly
That's the trick of TV.
Oh, yeah.
When we lived here as a kid, we would go to the bomber practices at the old field, and we would be sitting there. And when there was nothing else to do, Brock would come along and, hey, you two, come here, and he'd toss the ball with us for a little
Oh,
while.
that's great.
That's
You know,
great.
he would include the children that were there to think, go, run for a pass, and he'd gently throw it. He wouldn't give us one of those line drives, which was pretty good because he could knock us over pretty good.
He
That's
didn't
nice,
pull
mate.
Aaron Rodgers on you. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's now you say play Winnipeg, and that's a great venue to play. But here in Winnipeg, without COVID, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. I mean, the casinos here are beautiful as far as the showrooms. 1,400 people. I've had the good luck and been fortunate enough to be the MC and opening act for a number of acts. Like Engelbert Humperdinck is one of my favorites. I've worked with him twice.
I like him.
Here's a great story. You're going to like this, Dave. Engelbert's on.
Did he get his hearing back, by the way?
No. And so he's on stage doing his thing, and he's rocking it, and he's doing great. I mean, the guy he's an ultimate showman and a gentleman and just wonderful to work with. And then he closed, I think it was with, what was it? One of the bigger songs, not Green Grass.
Quando?
It might have been. And then he left stage, the band, everything coming down. Of course, the encore is expected. And he's left the stage. And then the curtain comes up and the band starts. And the guy, Kelly, who is in charge of the casino, goes, "Where's Mr. Humperdinck?" And I'm like, "What are you looking at me for? I'm just the opening act." He goes, "Go find him. I think he forgot he had an encore." So I bolt back to his dressing room and I knock on it. And I have pictures. He's in a red velour robe, already done with the show. I said, "Mr. Humperdinck, there's an encore. The band's kicking in." He goes, "Oh, totally forgot." Blows by me in his robe, goes on stage in front of 1,400 people with a red velour bathrobe.
And sang Quando.
And sang his I don't know if it was Green Grass at Home or whatever it was.
That's Tom Jones.
Oh, sorry. I worked with him too, but at the Walker Theater. But so there's Engelbert out in his robe. I'm like, okay, you tell him.
Tell me, when will you be mine?
I know the song.
I
Yeah.
understand he did impersonations in his show too, and
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
I'd
Yeah.
love to meet that guy too.
And he talks about Bruno Mars performing when Bruno was a 5-6-year-old. He performed at Engelbert's birthday party.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because Bruno started out as an Elvis impersonator. I don't know if you know that.
I did not.
You know that now. There you go. And so when this what?
He's a talented cat. Bruno Mars is a talented cat.
Oh, yeah. On SNL, he was absolutely hilarious.
Have you had the pleasure of meeting him?
I haven't, but this is a whole era of singers that are being brought up on American Idol and The Voice.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So many people that oversing, and the sooner you learn less is more. That's when you really start to become, in my opinion, a really good singer. Because I did the same thing when I was younger. Oversang. I want to impress everybody. Wait till you hear me and all these notes I can sing. And I became a good singer like in the last 10 years when I learned less is more. But Bruno is a terrific dancer. He sings
I love his stuff.
a great range. I'm a fan.
And he's a triple threat. He's an all-around good performer. But getting back to what I was alluding to is the COVID thing. Obviously, it crushed the entertainment industry. How are you coping with that?
Pretty much going through the same thing everybody's going through. I've been lucky enough to be doing shows I mean, they're starting to happen. I mean, here in Wisconsin, we did a couple of theaters. There's a beautiful place called the Meyer Theater in Green Bay, but it was socially distanced seating. I mean, it seats 1,000. We limited it to 350 just because we didn't want to be the ones
Wow.
saying, "Oh, thanks a
Right.
lot for getting everybody sick," because you want to do a concert.
Exactly.
That's great.
We did the Grand Opera House in Oshkosh. Same thing. I'm going to Texas to do a beautiful theater there called the Texan. Same thing. It'll be distanced, but I've been going through the same thing a lot of people have. I mean, the Venetian in Las Vegas called, and they're interested in having me come there, but they can't give me a date because they just don't know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
from what I understand,
Well-
Las Vegas is still pretty closed down for the most part.
Which is almost impossible to do, but they've done it.
Well, when Winnipeg opens up again, we both had our shots, so you can come stay on our couch and do a concert here.
No, I'd love to. I've had my shots. I'm ready to go.
I got
I'd
mine.
love-
Actually, I want to show another one of his tunes.
Would you like to do that?
I would love to do
And
that.
then we have a special guest that's going to pop up and say hi to you, Steve.
Oh boy. Oh
Yep.
boy.
Eh,
1, 2, 3, Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more. I said, what you say? Hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more. Oh woman, why you treat me so mean? You're the meanest woman that I've ever seen. I guess if you say so, I gotta pack my things and go. That's right, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. I said, what you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Oh, now listen, baby, listen, why you treat me this way? 'Cause I'll be back on my feet someday. You don't care about that, and it's understood. I ain't got no money, I ain't no good. I guess if you say so, I have to pack my things and go. That's right, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. I said, what you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Now don't you come back no more. Sweet mama, why you do me so wrong? I got the all-day blues from singing this song. You don't care about that, it's a doggone shame. Got no one else but myself to blame. I guess if you say so, well, I gotta pack my things and go. That's right, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh, who's that guy? Oh my God.
That guy, Al Pitch, of course.
Hey, you two knuckleheads.
Hey, Al.
Hey.
Al's one of my agents. I apologize in advance.
And he's one of my competition.
Well, Friendly-
Mr. Pitch, how are you?
Friendly competition, yes.
How are you doing?
well, we're doing great. I'm really happy to be here. Not only is it great to
Happy to be anywhere. Yeah.
yeah, happy to be anywhere. It's really neat to actually, Steve. This is the first time I've known about you for years. I went to school with your younger brother Jeff, and your other brother Tracy Torme was my little league baseball coach, and we were really good buddies in college. We
Oh,
we
good.
did, and I can't divulge all the college stories. Okay, let's leave it at
Oh,
that.
on this show, you could. On this show, you probably.
Probably on this show, USC, Southern California, and when I was in, we went to Beverly High. Did you go to Beverly High too?
I certainly did.
90210.
4 years.
That is it. 90210. And one of my
No
first,
way.
yeah, my introduction to Steve was actually Radio Airlift was our station I helped found, and one of the first few albums we got in our crate was Steve March's first solo album, and there was a song that I just so love. I have the album; it's all scratched up now, of course. But your song "Ease Down Line" has just always been one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, that's nice.
Should have been a big hit. I don't know what happened there, but it's just awesome. So years later, I don't know why, I just had to have that song. I couldn't find it anywhere online, and I actually was able to find Steve. I Googled Steve March, and I sent him a couple of emails and messages. I'd love a copy of that song, and he was like, no problem. He sent me the song, and then he saw my signature that I'm an agent up here in Canada, and he's like, hey, maybe we should talk. So I'm crossing my fingers when COVID, and the border crossings, lift, that I can maybe help you get a show or two up here in Canada. So
just remember, he's sitting on our couch.
They said you got some wonderful casinos up there in Winnipeg. That'd be
Beautiful one.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
We do. And you know what? Of course, I have such fond memories of being at Mel's, and Tracy would invite me over. And your dad had the most incredible downstairs theater, and we would screen like amazing movies. Mel turned me on to my favorite 60s movie called The Loved Ones. I don't know if you ever saw that.
What was it?
It was called The Loved Ones.
Oh, I know it. Yeah.
It's just the most warped 60s movie, but the house was always a great place to visit, except don't touch Dad's piano. I was clearly warned not to touch the piano.
No. Well, Dad had some, he used to run, he'd do a movie night, and I think he had some 16 millimeter prints that he wasn't supposed to have.
Right.
There was some illegal movies there that somehow he got his hands on, and he would invite his friends over, and they would run movie night. Now, what was really interesting, I got a chance to play tennis up at the Playboy Mansion a number of times. I had some friends that played, and I'm a member of the USTA, so I play a lot of tennis. I play tennis, tournament tennis, and Jimmy Kahn and all those people running around with all the playmates all the time, and what was going on up there really was going on up there. We'll leave some of those stories out.
Yeah.
But Sunday night,
You'll send us pictures later.
Sunday nights was movie night, and there were no girls there. Nobody. It was Hefner and Chuck McCann and Robert Blake and Ray Anthony and Mel Torme, and they would watch movies, and they would try to outdo each other with who knew most about the movie. Because everybody knew who starred in them, but Dad would tell you who the second grip was and who the set decorator was. So they were trying to outdo each other all the time. Now, there was a guy, I have to tell you this quick. There was a guy in LA who was a conservative radio talk show guy named Larry Elder. And I have no idea how I met him, but we ended up playing tennis a little bit. We got a chance to play up at the Hefner Mansion. And afterwards, Barry Gordy was there. And Hefner's brother was there, who was a C- tennis player. And they said, hey, do you guys want to stay tonight? We're going to watch the fight. We said, what fight? They said, oh, yeah, a bunch of people coming over. You guys can stay and watch the fight. That was the night that Tyson bit off Evander Holyfield's.
Oh, he's hungry.
Uh-oh.
They wouldn't go through the drive-through. He was hungry.
We're sitting there watching the fight. And when it happened, everybody in the room was like, what the fuck? Whoa. And Robert Blake was behind the bar. And Blake went over and picked up a bottle of Grand Marnier. He took off the top and he just snipped it and went, oh, yeah, man, I remember those days. It's one of the clean stories I can tell you. So.
No, that's fine. You can go dirtier. We're not censored, But that's
two daughters that might see this one day. So.
well, that's the reason we have you on the show tonight, because normally you play tennis tonight, but you unfortunately have a bit of an injury, correct?
Yeah, I've got a hamstring. I'm supposed to be playing league tonight. In fact, I'm supposed to be on the court right now. I was playing a 17-year-old girl. She's a high school player, good player, 2 weeks ago, and beat her 6-1 in the first set. And she's a good player. She's got a lot of talent. And I'm running for a ball and went, oh, there it is. There's an old man injury.
That's right.
And the hammy pulled, so I'm kind of on the DL for a couple of weeks here.
Oh, geez, sorry to hear that. But to our fortune, you were able to do the show tonight.
It's worked out well.
It did indeed. So
what, Alan? What do you remember about being give me some memory from being at the house with Tracy and Dad, because that was a dynamic that was pretty interesting in and of itself.
Well, yeah, it was incredible. Well, I remember it was up in the hills. You drive up the hill and get to the house.
Coldwater Canyon.
Sorry.
Coldwater Canyon.
Yeah, Coldwater Canyon. And well, the movie theater stands out. The other thing that really stands out was your dad had an entire room of records, like the most amazing record collection, immaculate condition. Every record was in absolute pristine condition. Most of it was jazz. And of course, one of my early memories, though, I was a rocker. In fact, I even got into punk rock at that point in the late 70s, early 80s. I was in a punk band. So I was kind of looking to see, like, is there any cool rock albums? And I did find one. Your dad was and it was a surprise to me, he was a huge Steely Dan fan.
Well, that's not rock music. That's why he likes
Steely Dan. That's a real good early memory.
Because Steely Dan's, their whole basis is jazz.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Now we can.
That's
Hello?
why he likes Steely Dan.
Yeah, we got you.
Their whole market is jazz. I mean, those guys come from a jazz background, which is
Hello?
real obvious in their songs.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear us, Alan? Sounds
Alan,
like.
can you hear us?
I've lost the sound.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
You know, the irony that his last name is Pitch.
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me. I can't. For some reason, I can't hear you guys anymore. But so those are my early memories, and yeah. So I think I'll end on that.
Oh, okay. Technology, Al. There we go.
2021. Yeah.
I know. Al Pitch, ladies and gentlemen.
Turn up your volume. Well, there you go. Thank you, Alan. Alan's good.
He can't hear you anyways.
Doesn't matter. So the person I was thinking, when I asked you who was the best Boston outfielder,
yeah,
I thought I might hear a Freddie Lynn, but maybe
yeah. It's
I mean, Yaz, obviously.
Yaz. Oh, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yastrzemski was, yeah. I mean, there's a name I haven't heard in years, but yeah, he was. That whole era of the Sox were great. I mean, and Fenway is. I don't know how many of the original parks are still around, but Fenway. Does the Cubs still play in the original one?
Yeah, the Cubbies still play in Wrigley. It has been retrofitted for lights because they didn't have night baseball before.
Right.
But it's still the same park. I mean, you also another outfielder. You had Dewey was on that team too.
Yep. Yeah. We're talking. I don't know what era you're going for. Yeah, but that's definitely a great era for that. And Fenway with the Green Monster, they've added to the Green Monster, which for those who don't know, it's the left field wall basically. And if you hit one over the Green Monster, it goes out onto the Mass Pike and shatters windshields.
Exactly. And then
apparently Alan's fixed his
add a
problem.
little bit to it, so there's an extension there. So the only parks that are left that are really original is Fenway.
Yep.
Wrigley, and at this point, I mean, Dodger Stadium is a relic now, and that was built in like '65. So all the other ones are either new or they're retro looking and they're new.
Yeah. Al, you're back.
I am back. I was going to ask.
Oh, we got rid of. Oh, hi, Alan.
Yeah, who needs? Forget the agent, right? We both have similar, experiences in having grown up, and it almost seems like a dream to me now, growing up in Beverly Hills at the time. And I do believe it had obviously a profound effect on how I as well entertain and the way I look at the world. I'm just wondering what how you feel about growing up in Beverly Hills. At the time, I didn't realize you're surrounded by the big names and the stars, but they're just regular people to you. That's how you interact with them.
I will give you a quick story, and again, this is one of the questions I'm often asked. What was it like growing up in Beverly Hills with all those people, all the musicians you must have met through your dad? Well, Hal March was an actor, but all of his friends were comedians. All of Hal's friends were the Borscht Belt comedians. So our dinner parties every weekend were Milton and Lucy and Buddy Hackett and Jack Carter and Jan Murray and Shelley Green. That's who was at the house every weekend.
Oh my God.
Which Lucy?
So I'm a little that
Lucille
Lucy.
Ball. Who's
Lucille
Lucy?
Ball.
Oh yeah, well that was.
Oh, that's freaking cool.
Look at him.
Well,
Who's
we're on the
Lucy?
900 block
No.
of Roxbury. She and Gary on the the 1000 block. The first kid I met when we moved from New York again, another bad joke I'll just make up. When we moved from New York to Los Angeles, actually Beverly Hills, we were there for like 3 days. And I'm 12 years old. There's a knock on the door, and my stepfather Hal walks to the door with me, and we open the door, and there's a guy standing there and a kid about my age, kind of a chubby, little good-looking kid, and he sticks his hand out and he goes, "Hello, I'm Daisy. Who are you?" And I had no idea what he said. And I turned back and I said, "What did he say?" He goes, "Well, be gracious here." And he says, "I'm Daisy. Who are you?" And what he said was, I turned and I said, "I thought he said, I'm Daisy. Who's the Jew?" But
well, that's a fine introduction.
exactly, that's a fine introduction. So
It was
I don't know.
it was Desi Hernandez Jr. who was saying, "Hi, I'm Desi. Who are you?" But I actually made that story up because Desi doesn't speak with a Cuban accent.
No, but it's still, yeah, exactly. A little artistic license there.
Of course. So anyway, those were our dinner parties, and my mom was a really beautiful lady. If you want to look her up online, her name was Candy Toxton, and that's who married obviously Mel first. But she was being chased she dated DiMaggio. She was being chased by Sinatra. She was a really beautiful lady and very classy. And I remember when we had these dinner parties, I was a little kid. I had to be in bed, so I'd be in my bedroom. It'd be about 8:45 at night. Well, after dinner, they're all going into the living room with the Chevis and having a few drinks. And now the jokes are starting because they're all comedians. They're all trying to outdo each other. And I distinctly remember hearing Buddy Hackett telling stories.
He's filthy, but funny.
Well, of course. And he'd be sitting there going, "So anyway, this donkey comes in and he's fucking this rabbi." And,
Oh my God.
and my mother is laughing harder than anybody. My mom finds that funny. So
that is great. I saw him on Carson when he told the joke and actually fell off the chair and landed on the little coffee table there. Yeah, Buddy Hackett. You do a great impression. You do a
great way to grow up.
No kidding, man.
Lucy also would have movie nights. Now she lived a block up the street, as Alan knows. So we'd go up there for movie night, and Desi and I are sitting there. And one day they were showing a movie with Clint Eastwood and Telly Savalas called Where Eagles Dare.
That's right, great movie.
And it was about the Nazis up in the fortress, up in the mountains, and Clint Eastwood's an American soldier. So anyway, Milton Berle's there with us, and he's sitting behind me. And he knew that I was a pigeon. He knew that he could get me to laugh at anything. So we're watching Where Eagles Dare, and Clint Eastwood is going up the stairs with a machine gun, and it's a real tense scene. And Milton leans over and he goes, Stevie. I go, "What?" He goes, "You know about Clint, right?" I go, "What?" He goes, Big Fagula. And I start laughing. And Lucy goes, "Stevie, quiet. You and Desi are going to leave if you keep." I said, "Milton did that." He goes, "I didn't say a word. I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't say a word." So he would do that on purpose to get us in trouble.
But I still don't know what he said.
He said he's a Fagula. He was telling me that Clint Eastwood's a fag.
Oh, okay.
It's
Just to make me
Yiddish.
laugh.
All right, I don't know Yiddish. I'm a
It's a
Protestant
Yiddish.
from Boston, for
Big
crying out loud.
Fagula. So Lucy hears that and she goes, "Stevie, be quiet." I said, "Milton's doing this." And Milton goes, I didn't say anything. So Desi and I got thrown out.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Yeah.
But here's something for you there, Steve.
That's my mom.
Yep, beautiful.
Yeah, she was a beautiful lady. She was engaged to Tommy Dorsey, and it got called off for whatever reason. And the night that she got married to Mel, and they had a party back at the house, Sinatra showed up, and you'll never believe this, but he was drunk. I know it's hard to believe.
No way.
No, not him.
I'm telling tales. And he started with the whole where's that good looking lady Candy? I want to give her a kiss. And Mel had to politely say, "Frank, you got to leave. This."
Whoa, kicking the chairman of the board out of your house.
It had to be done. It was not going to go well. It was not going to go well. But
Oh my God.
Mom was a beautiful lady and very classy. But she thought that Buddy Hackett's dick jokes were pretty funny.
Yeah, they were.
So before we carry on, I want to thank Al for popping on and joining us here.
Thanks, Al.
We'll have you on another day, and we'll talk about what's going on with you.
You bet, Steve. Nice to see you after all these years.
Let's all get together up there in the cold environs.
Sounds great.
Love it. Love it.
You're welcome.
There we go. Al Pitch. Yep, he's been one of my agents for a long time. Only guy that gets 60%. I don't understand it.
I don't know.
60 for you. He's charging me 70. You're getting
So question I had is I was watching a couple of your videos and listening to you sing the various songs. Your range, how many octaves do you go?
17 octaves.
17.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write that
and
down.
I'm blonde.
I'm probably 3.5. I mean, I can get up pretty high, and
You got a good falsetto.
oh, thank you, thanks. It helps with some of the tunes that we do. It helps to have that. That tune of McCartney's I mentioned, "She's Leaving Home."
Yeah.
That's it. She's leaving home. That's up there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I had never seen the Beatles in concert. I didn't really get the opportunity to. When I was a kid, I guess they were out at Shea Stadium, and I was a wee lad. And from what I understand from those concerts, you never would have heard anything anyway.
No.
But about 2.5 years ago, McCartney was coming to do Lambeau Field in Green Bay.
Yep.
And my wife said, we really should we should see tickets. You've never seen him, have you? I said, no, I've never seen him. She goes, we have to go see him. I said, okay. She says, and we should take the girls. I said, well, we're going to have to sell everything we own to go do this. You understand?
Right.
They were not cheap tickets. But in any event, we went 2.5 years ago. And, there were about 55,000 people there. And we had really good seats. We were down field level, about maybe 12 rows back. So
Nice.
So he comes out, just holding the Hofner bass, no pyrotechnics, no coming out on a swing, just comes out holding the bass. Lambeau, good to see you, Lambeau. I would dare say about 85% of the concert, my two daughters were looking up at me, just going, "Oh God, he's crying again. Really?"
I have it. You know what? I can totally relate to that because when he played Winnipeg Stadium, I took my two kids and my nephew flew up from Connecticut, who's such a Beatle fan. He actually went to Liverpool as part of his graduation gift. And my daughter's like, she was at that age where, I don't want to listen to the Beatle music, this old man music. By the second song, she was up dancing and didn't sit down. And it's so generational. And you do such a good job with their material.
No,
Very good job. Yeah.
And it's a really good show. I mean, he can't sing like he used to.
No.
He's been doing this for a long time, and the band is phenomenal.
Mhm.
And it's still a great show, and it just gets you. I mean, I was like a million other kids. I watched that Sullivan show. I saw him, and it's why I wanted to do this. And he comes out and sits down on the piano and plays that first B flat, and you hear, "Maybe I'm amazed," and you go, "Oh God," the tears just start.
Because you think to yourself, I'm listening to the guy who did these songs
originally. Yeah.
So it just blows my mind. But you got a fan in me, my friend, because just watching your tapes on your website, and we have his website up, right?
Yeah, I had it up there earlier. I put it right back up.
That's very cool.
And when all this bullshit clears up, love to have you come up to Canada and Winnipeg.
Well,
What kind of training do you have musically?
I mean, it's cold here. I'm in Wisconsin.
You're used to it.
200-yard run away, I could be there. Yeah.
You do understand that we do get warm here as well.
For about an hour and a half on a Tuesday.
I mean, our summers are pretty darn hot.
Are they really?
Yeah. We get up to 40 degrees Celsius. What's that in Fahrenheit?
Hot.
100 and something?
Yeah. Well, I'd love to come up. I mean, it'd be fun to do so. I played Edmonton and I played Toronto, and I would love to come up there and come back to Winnipeg. It'd be
Though
fun.
you could ride the mosquitoes around sometimes. I mean,
do you get those? Get bad ones?
well, we call them pterodactyls.
I've never had an issue with them. I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
You know what? The last couple of years, we have been almost mosquito free, which is amazing. The worst I've ever seen mosquitoes, Calgary. I went there for a visit. Now, when I grew up in Calgary, I don't remember.
Are you pronouncing it correctly?
Calgary? Cowtown?
You Canadian folks up there, I thought it was Calgary. No?
That's Calgary.
Toronto, not Toronto.
Calgary.
Regina still sounds silly.
I was living in BC, and my first wife and I
Quit
went
bragging.
to visit
a
friend, and I went for a walk, and I just took like 10 steps into this schoolyard, and this cloud went around me and they were biting. It was biting me, and I was like, I'd never seen
I
mosquitoes.
thought you
like
weren't
that.
allowed within 200 yards of a school.
That's it. That's only in Toronto.
Toronto. Oh my God. Well, listen, we're gonna cut you loose, man.
All right,
And-
let me tell you my one clean joke.
Okay.
You've got one?
Well, when we get together, when I come up there, I'll tell you the jokes I want to tell you, but I'm not going to tell them here. So
Okay.
one clean joke I know.
Clean joke, ladies and gentlemen.
So there's this farmer driving along the road in his truck, and he's got a bunch of penguins in the back of the truck, and he gets pulled over by a cop, and the cop says, "Hey, what's the deal here? What's with the penguins?" The guy said, "Well, they're my penguins. They belong to me." He goes, "No. You take them to the zoo right now." I goes, "Oh, fine. So he drives off. The next day, same farmer driving along the same road, same cop stops him, same penguins are in the back with sunglasses on. He says, "I thought I told you to take them to the zoo." He says, "I did. Today I'm taking them to the beach."
Whoa! There we go.
All right, before you go,
Wait, I got a penguin joke.
Division.
Okay, this penguin's driving down the road and his car breaks down, and it's a little town, right? And this penguin gets out, goes over to the garage and says, my car broke down. Already it's unbelievable. But the penguin says, my car broke down, and the mechanic goes over, tows it to the garage, and he says, it's going to take about an hour. So once you go, there's an ice cream place right across the street. Go have an ice cream, chill out, whatever you want to do. So the penguin goes over, gets an ice cream cone. The mechanic works on the car. The penguin comes back, and the mechanic goes, it's a hot day, and there's a penguin with the ice cream. But the mechanic goes, well, looks like you blew a seal. He goes, no, I just had some ice cream.
oh boy,
There's nowhere else to go with that.
I know.
Okay, do you follow TikTok, or do you do anything on TikTok?
My daughters do.
Okay,
My
so recently
Yes.
I've been, I watch TikTok almost every night now.
I know, it's sickening.
And there's this one woman that does all these different videos about whatever, and she's quite brilliant. She writes her own music or songs to other pieces. They're filks is really what they are. But she did one, and it's a series. There's 3 of them, and it's about unsolicited pictures of your genitalia.
What are you?
Right?
Where direction are you going?
No,
with
hang on. And she's saying, like women don't want men just taking shots of themselves.
All right.
And sending them off. So she did this one, and I can't help but laugh every time. I want to share this,
Oh,
and
God,
I
no.
want Steve's thoughts on this
Oh,
one
God,
too.
no. Oh, God, no.
Hey, this song is called Mr. Vain. How could you not have an unsolicited dong song to a song that is already called Mr. Vain? Hell no, Mr. Wanker. Hell no, diddity dong. Hell no, Mr. Vain. Look like E.T. in a blanket, an alien with balls. Hell no, tries to snake. The fuck, that's so wrong. My eyes are burning now. Why would you send me a Mr. Vain? Did I say that I want to see if you're in doubt? I'm gonna block you. Don't send your Mr. Vain. I'm Mr. Vain and I'm never wrong. I'm 27 inches long, grow higher than Cheech and Chong. You want me, baby, all night long. Vain.
Wow, I bet her parents are
I
proud.
cannot help but laugh my ass off
Yeah,
every
well-
time I see her do that thing.
Steve,
Yeah,
I'm sure we can get it open up for you.
I've heard the ballad version of that.
Okay, can you do a scat version of that?
No,
I could.
No, scat's a whole different meaning in that field. Oh my God, man, it was such a pleasure chatting with you.
Oh, thanks for having me on. It's very nice.
And we'd love to have you back and back and back. And when this all clears up, please, we'll get Al Pitch. He can get you the Holiday Inn Express. I think it pays $250 a night. And I'll take
Neil,
60.
I'm there.
And I'll take 60%.
Oh, man.
That's on Labatt's. I'm there. There you go.
Thank you so much. And I'm saying this out of respect
And
for
you
you.
can sharing my wine.
Go Yankees, go. Even though I'm a Sox fan, I'll give you that.
Fair enough.
All right. Have a great night. And thank you so much once again.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. What a great guy.
He is awesome.
No kidding. Is Tazzy up there?
No, I don't see Taz yet.
Oh.
I don't know. Or Barry. I'm still waiting for Taz and Barry.
Well, I don't have my phone with me. We can find out what's going on. But don't you have some things we can show?
Well, I did. I just showed it. Oh, you know what? I've got another Meltor.
No. Don't we have that thing with the cat wigs?
Oh, yes. Okay. So
I know.
Yeah.
Can you believe I just said, don't we have that thing with the cat
okay.
wigs?
So I found this video of a whole bunch of
Real products.
These are real inventions that just sucked.
Well,
and-
an invention that sucked can't be that bad.
No. Yeah. Until she wants half.
Shots. Yeah. Whatever.
And then so I took out the ones that made us laugh the hardest.
Okay.
So, and I brought them to you. Here they are.
Toilet golf. You know those times you're taking a wicked dump and you get the urge to play some mini golf? Well, this is the product for you. Not only
Yeah,
does
this-
it come with
this
a
is-
hard
This is real. I've
cutting
seen this at
green,
Spencer
but you
Gifts.
also
I
get
think I
a
saw it at
do not
Walmart.
disturb sign explaining to any would-be
This
knockers
is a real thing.
that
I've
you're
seen it, and I
engaged in
actually
a
thought of
serious round
buying
of
it.
putting while emptying your bowels. A butter stick. This one works just
What?
fine, and it sounds exactly like its concept. You will, of course, feel like you're at primary school as you butter your toast, but at least you don't have to clean your knife because that's hard work, and spreading butter over bread requires muscle action. The USB Pet Rock. This one is pretty miraculous.
This is real.
After you boot up your computer or laptop, you can plug this rock into your USB slot and watch with awe as absolutely nothing happens. That's right. Electricity will fail to surge through the rock, and it will actually transform into an inanimate geological formation right there and then. Naturally, this is the start of a wild revolution in technology. Phone fingers. These finger condoms
Phone
help protect
fingers.
your
I know,
phone screen
right?
against smudges, microbacteria.
Let's take a rubber glove and cut off the
That's all
hand.
they did.
While your fingers require a flat, slidey surface to operate a smartphone, these phone fingers
That's a leather
tend to
glove.
punch up and tear your screen quite badly from overuse.
My
But it's a
goodness.
small price to pay compared to how
That looks
safe
disgusting.
you will feel
It
at
does,
night.
really.
Wigs for cats. You thought mittens
This
for
kills
cats were
me.
ridiculously amazing? Cat wigs are the new thing in feline fashion. All you need to do is either chain down or sedate your cat.
I like
then glue
redheads.
the wig on and watch as your groggy pet stumbles around like a tiny.
Not
toad.
looking impressed.
You'll love how the cat stares
Cat's
at you.
never look
warmth,
impressed.
Look at that one.
I know.
acceptance, and a touch
Bozo
of
the cat.
She does
unrelenting
kid parties.
hostility. The baby mop. You know those times
This
you're
is
so
brilliant.
lazy
I don't
you
care what
can't
anybody
even
says.
pick up a damn broom or wipe away mountains of dust? Well, this is the invention for you. Clothes specifically designed so your newborn baby cleans the house for you. Watch as he tumbles around cleaning up floorboards, polishing boots.
It's like a
fixing broken
living
bikes.
Roomba.
It's also available for cats and dogs with a bundle discount if you buy one with a cat wig. It'd be like you have a little anthropomorphic maid cleaning your house. The Subway Chin Rest. This one
Yeah, this is
actually
good.
exists. Like, it's a thing a company
It's being
actively
sold.
marketed thinking it would take off. That actually happened. This chin rest appeared in Japan for people unlucky enough not to snag a seat. And though most people would complain that feet or back will suffer hurt after a while, apparently for a very small minority, they don't have the muscle capacity to hold their skulls atop their neck. How these people made it out of the womb, I'm not entirely
How
sure.
people made it out of the womb.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
There were other ones. I mean, there was 20 in the video.
That was like a 10-minute video.
Yeah, and so I took out the ones that I made us laugh the most. There were some stupid. There was
What do you mean there
Umbrellas.
was some stupid
there was
ones?
umbrellas for the fronts of your shoes.
Yeah, so your shoes
So-
don't get rained
But
on.
the problem was that the water running off the shoes would go down your leg and then
Into your socks.
Yeah,
Who likes wet socks?
you like the Red Sox?
Yes. What?
Wet Sox, Red Sox.
The-
It wasn't a far left. It wasn't a far jump.
Yeah, it really was.
No, because they both suck.
No, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. All right. Well,
you just gave me that.
I
you know,
did.
that was-
What a show tonight. That was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
I had a great one.
And Al Pitch, of course. Thanks for
Yeah,
popping in
thank
to
you for
visit your old
popping
friend.
in, and yeah,
They really did go to Beverly Hills 90210.
there you go.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was just a show.
I can't believe they actually went to and they talk like it's nothing. Oh,
Yeah.
we went down to Lucy's house and watched movies.
I know. It's like I went over to Joe's
and
house.
then Milton
watched a movie.
Berle sitting behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Who's the most famous person you've met, other than Steve, and of course Alan?
Oh, well, like I said, I've worked with a number of great people.
Not worked with, but met. Like just happened to run into.
Run into?
Yeah.
No.
Never?
Never run into somebody. Back at home, or our family house at Wolfboro, New Hampshire, which is the oldest summer resort in America. Jimmy Fallon lives right down the street from my cousins, and they've been on a boat with him. He just walks around town like normal. I'd love to meet him, but working wise, is being in show business, that's the only place you meet him.
Yeah.
Like Roseanne and Engelbert and Tom Jones,
Sometimes in the
Celine
mall, you know.
Dion, and that type of stuff. What?
I met one in Richmond Center when I was living in Vancouver.
Loretta Lynn.
No, it wasn't Loretta.
No,
Lynn.
I met Loretta Lynn by accident.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, I ran her over. It was no, I'm kidding. No, she was in Atlantic City when I was living
She was
there.
coming out of the concert hall. And,
That's right, and bad limo driver. So who'd you meet?
I met Phil Collins in Richmond Center.
Where's Richmond Center?
It's in Richmond, BC. Like it's a
okay, like a mall.
Like Greater Vancouver is made up of a number of smaller cities.
Right.
It's West Van, East Van, North Van.
Yes.
Richmond.
White
Surrey.
panel van.
Yeah, white panel van. So he was there shopping with his daughter, and a buddy of mine and I they were in Cole's bookstore, and a buddy and I were walking.
Famous people have to buy books.
Yeah, and he says, I think that's Phil Collins. And I looked and I said, I don't think so. So he goes, no. So I said, let's find out. And I just walked right up to him. I said, excuse me, are you Phil Collins? And he goes, yes. I said, Genesis Phil Collins? He goes, yes. I said, cool. I turned around and I walked away.
Wow.
And he was like, look at it. So later on, I was in the food court at Edo of Japan.
Of course, where the finest Japanese food is made.
Yeah, of course. And he walked up. He goes, hey, can I buy you lunch? I said, pardon? You don't have to buy me lunch. He goes, I got to. Nobody's ever done that to me before. Just, are you me? Yes, I'm me. And then walk away without another word. I almost felt like it didn't matter.
Well, you got a free lunch out of
the guy's shopping. You know, why would I bother him? And I met Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton.
Was it at Islands in the Stream?
No, I was working at the Saddle Dome.
Okay.
And I worked in the popcorn, like one of the booths there.
You overachiever.
And at the end of the night, I was carrying one of these great big sacks of popcorn that wasn't opened, and I tripped and I fell.
Was it already popped?
No. It was
the kernels.
The kernels.
Oh, that's heavy.
And and I tripped and I fell and it broke open.
Yeah.
So I was cleaning it up, and as I was cleaning up, these two cowboy boots walked up and says, "Do you need a hand?" I look up and Kenny Rogers is offering to give me a hand.
Wow.
And I said, no, but my mother's a great big fan, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he walks off. And so I'm continuing to scoop this stupid popcorn kernels into this pail. And these two little feet come along and said, can I help you with that? Or do you need a hand or something like that? I don't remember her exact words. And I look up and there's these two great big
eyes,
Dolly.
Eyes. And
well,
you know what was happening there? Kenny said, let's go to my room. Because I know they had an affair. They must have. So he said, I'll go first.
You can't say that for sure.
And well, who's going to stop me? So Kenny went first. And then the old line, just follow me in 15 minutes.
Well, that was them. And one more I met at the
here we go.
Was Chuck Berry.
You did not meet Chuck Berry.
Yes, I did.
He was bullshit.
there. No, he was there for the Granddaddies of Rock. And his bodyguard comes up to our popcorn booth, says, Chubby wants popcorn. And this guy was massive. You know, I was like, okay. And he goes, and he wants it buttered on the left side. I'm like, pardon me? He wanted it buttered on the left side. So I took a piece of cardboard and I slid it down the middle, put the popcorn in and buttered on the left side, marked left, and then pulled the cardboard out and gave it to him. And he went down and he gave it to Chubby. And
who?
Not Chubby.
Chuck.
Chuck
Berry.
No, not Chuck Berry. I'm sorry. Chubby Checker.
Oh, Chuck, that's a whole different story.
Chubby Checker. Sorry, not Berry.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different.
I always get the two names mixed up.
That's a whole different. How do you mix those two up?
Because of the Chubby and the Checker and all that stupid shit.
Well, that's a different twist.
You know, but no, it was actually Chubby Checker.
Yep.
And so, anyways, he comes down. He sent the bouncer back up. Goes, which of you guys can drink in here? And there's only two of us of age to drink. He says, Chubby wants to see you. And so he comes down and goes, what do you guys drink up here? And my dad drank Old Stock.
Oh.
And so I said, Old Stock.
That's like rocket fuel.
So he says to his bouncer, go get us some Old Stock. And he came back with a bunch of Old Stock. And we drank Chubby under the table.
Well, Old Stock's a very nasty
Yeah.
beer.
He was really cool though.
Yeah.
He was really cool. And the other one I met, and this was cool, was Ziggy Marley, Bob Marley's son.
I guarantee he has no memory of it.
Oh, I'm nobody, right?
No, he's stoned.
No, he wasn't. I don't think he was. Anyways, I was DJing in a club in Vancouver. It was at the Airport Hotel, which is on the island. The airport in Vancouver is on its own little island. Okay, with bridges coming off.
That's like Logan in Boston.
Is that
Mhm.
okay? So Vancouver is on a delta, right? So the island, there's one island with the airport there, and it's got a hotel. And at the top of the hotel was a 360-degree windowed
Oh yeah.
building, and the dance floor, that was the nightclub, and the dance floor looked out on the runway.
Ooh.
And so the DJ booth was small, like about where we're sitting, kind of thing.
This big?
Yeah, not very big. So I had records up top and I had records down below, and I was down going like this, and I hear, "That's my song, man." And I go, "Yeah, a lot of people like it." He goes, "No, that's my song." And I turn around, and then there's the album cover of Ziggy, and Ziggy standing over top of it.
There you go. Little
And
brush
he
with
was really,
fame.
really cool. He was on a stopover, flying from wherever to wherever.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's a nice little story.
He was really cool. That was a neat nightclub, though,
That's a keeper.
because the elevator went right from the lobby and opened up inside the bar. So every time the elevator doors opened up in the lobby, music would come blaring.
And drunks.
blaring out of it.
And drunks.
So every floor that the elevator doors opened up, it would come blaring out. So we had to be shut down at 2 on the nose, because one
Not
minute after-
201.
not 201. There were complaints.
Now, speaking of which, it's 9:16. I'm going to bed.
It's not 9:16.
Yeah.
Your watch is wrong. It's 9:11. So we still got 4 minutes, 5
Well,
minutes.
For what? There's no time on this
Well,
show.
you want to end at 9:16.
I thought it was 9:16.
Your watch almost says that.
It doesn't say anything. You have to read it.
Yeah. I think you need to adjust your watch.
I think you. Well, so I had nothing.
Oh, you know what we didn't do?
Oh no.
Smart sound.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Today's weather in Winnipeg,
crappy.
it blows monkeys. It
Although
sucks.
tomorrow it's supposed to be nicer.
Oh, come
By
on.
Friday we're getting to 18 again.
Oh, boners.
and then I think Tuesday we're 18.
Oh, that's swell.
It is. Hang on, let's take a quick look. The weather states it's 10 degrees right now.
You're getting the weather right off the phone. How cheating is that? Shouldn't you
It's
be
6 degrees
outside?
right now? 24% chance of rain tomorrow. 11 degrees. 18.
But, however,
18 on Tuesday.
that's a 76% chance there won't be any.
That's correct.
Yes.
13 on Wednesday.
Mhm.
11 on Thursday.
Mhm.
Friday 15 degrees. 17 on Saturday.
Oh, I'll tell you,
Just we're getting there.
we're getting
We're
there
getting there.
extremely slowly.
That was that. And so I guess we'll end it with the weather.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching tonight. You can catch us on YouTube anytime you want. All the episodes.
Yeah, like us on YouTube. Subscribe. Doesn't
Doesn't
anything
cost
to
a
subscribe.
dime.
And as soon as we get 100 subscribers, I can change the address to make it easier for you to find.
Look at that.
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
figure. Anyways, I think that's where we'll leave it.
I think so. I have to check my buddy Taz.
Yeah,
I'm worried about
me
Taz.
too. And Barry did send his regards. He had to go back
Who's up
and
there?
deal. Oh, that's Al Pitch still.
Al Pitch is still stuck in his computer.
What you don't know how to turn it off?
Oh no, he's naked.
He's naked. And then he shut it off. That's going to go down in history. But yeah, Barry Kay's on the road. His daughter had a dance recital.
Yes,
tonight.
and you all, as parents, you know that's damn
That
important.
is damn
That
important.
takes precedent way over anything
Um,
we ever do.
And Tazzy probably forgot because, well, let's face it.
Oh, he's a busy man.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy. The guy's he's got a show coming up.
Yes.
And we're going to hopefully get him on.
I still think I've got the information there.
Do you?
There, Big Daddy Taz.
That's right.
And friends, April 29th. That's next weekend.
That's right. Next week, 20 bucks
or
per
this
screen.
week. It's
Yep.
this week. $20 per person or per screen. Sorry. Please joy. You can get your tickets.
Right there.
You know. Oh, hang on. That's
Do we have the site?
I thought Big Taz. BigDaddyTaz.com.
BigDaddyTaz.com. Get your tickets. It's a great show. He does great things for the community, and it's a whole batch of great comedians. I've had the pleasure of being part of the show when it was at live, of course, Pantages. And tell you what,
Well, tell us a little bit. What is the show? What is the show about?
the show is a multitude of different acts. Like when I was on, it was Al Simmons, myself, a couple other comedians, and Sierra Noble.
Oh, I love
Sierra Noble, and the money goes to a different charity every year.
Oh, nice.
So it's a charity show, and it's a lot of fun. So please go to Big Daddy What is it?
BigDaddyTaz.com.
and get your tickets.
So
$20 per
Big Daddy
screen.
Taz.
It's a deal.
Yes, and it's called Big Daddy Taz and Friends on this April 29th. $20 per screen. Please enjoy it, and tell them we sent you. You don't get anything out of it, but just tell them tell them we sent you.
Yeah, I got to get my girdle off.
Yeah, he wears a girdle.
Well,
now.
okay, I have this massive hernia from my surgery back in January.
Yeah.
And they're getting it done in January.
Yeah, keep.
And I have to wear this. Now I know what women mean by getting home from work and taking their bra off, and how good that feels. When I take my girdle off, I tell you, it's freedom. Freedom, I tell you.
Not for me.
No.
Anyways, so again, there's going to be people in our end credits that weren't on the show, but we send them our love.
Yep.
Oh, happy birthday to Barry K.
Barry K. Happy belated
birthday, buddy.
Yes.
Yes. You're
How old
older.
is he?
A year older than last year.
Okay, now you're 54. I'm 58.
I'm 50,
How
yeah.
old is he? Right between us somewhere?
I think he's younger. He's younger than me.
Is he really?
Yes.
You
He
got
doesn't
that-
look it.
No, I was gonna say you get that ugly in less than 54 years.
Yeah. He's listening right now while he
No,
drives.
he's not. I'm
Yes, he
kidding.
is. No, he told me. Because
I didn't mean it, Barry. Please forgive me.
I said I'm waiting for you because I'm driving. But I said not listening.
Happy birthday, my favorite person, Barry
Should
K.
we sing to him?
No, we're not singing to anybody. I really have to get my girdle off.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you show the people how you do it?